There are exciting times here in Anne County. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of promoting community, conversation, and discovery. I'm your host, Anthony Bynum. And as I just said, these are exciting times. First of all, I want to wish everybody a happy 4th of July. This is 249 years from the founding of America. 249 years. Next year is 250, and that will be called um, the I think it's called the centennial, the quacentennial. I believe that's the term, 250 years. Back in 1976, in my hometown of Goffstown, New Hampshire, I was involved in the celebrating of the 200th anniversary, the bicentennial. And I'm going to be working on making my way back. I've reached out to some historical society in Goffstown. They have a lot going on. They said just kind of watch. I want to be in the middle of it, but we'll see, right? We'll see. Yes, so we have an exciting show today. We have beautiful weather, and I think there'll be some more fireworks going on tonight, more than likely. Now, upcoming events. This is the summer of music. I already mentioned it to you, right? So Annapolis, the Maritime Museum, uh, they do theirs on Thursday nights. And next Thursday, which will be July 10th, it'll be Reverend Smack Master. Not sure what kind of group that is. Sounds like a rap group, but you never know. Anyway, these are free concerts. They're free concerts. Well, let's rephrase it. Your county taxpayer dollars go for these concerts. So there's no, if you want to give some money, they can, but you don't have to. You just go there and have a good time. We also have right here on Friday nights, 7:30, the Glen Burnie Concert Series. Right downtown Glen Burnie Center. I couldn't tell who was on for tonight, but just go and have a good time, right? Also, you have Lithicum concerts in the park. They're on Sundays. Now, this Sunday coming up, there's a group called Demos for Memos. They do pop songs, so a lot of 60s and 70s pop music, more than likely. But you can always go there, bring your yard chair. If you have a couple bucks, you get ice cream. It's always fun, right? I think the Women's Club is a sponsor for that, I think. I've been to more than my share. They do a nice job over there. We want to thank our affiliates. These are the people who air our show for us. So we want to start off right here in Anne Arundel County with AAC TV. Thank you for airing our shows. Greenbelt Cable Access in PG County. Thank you for airing our shows. Amherst Media in Amherst, Massachusetts. Thank you for airing our shows. Manhattan Neighborhood Network in the Big Apple. Now, I just heard from them regarding an older show. I don't know if they were having some difficulties up there or not, but I'm just so happy because they're going to be airing, I believe, episode 19, which was the one that featured the interview with Kelly Murray of Stitch Your Legacy. So thank you. I'm glad that we're back in business, so to speak. And also Brunswick TV3 in Brunswick, Maine. We want to thank you also for airing our shows. References. These are the people who we rely on to do the show factual information. So we start right off with Wikipedia, Google Images, and we've been doing a series with Better Homes and Garden, the magazine. We'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. So actually, we'll talk about it now because for the last 3-4 weeks, we've been doing a series of hidden gems. These have all featured Black women who lived a long time ago, who had even greater odds to deal with. All for just wonderful people. All these articles came from a magazine that I read. It's from January/February 2023. Again, Better Homes and Garden. All the articles written by Richie Holmes Grant, one of these style expert designer types of people, And he found these people. I've loved every minute of it. If you're somehow this ever gets back to you, Ms. Grant, thank you for the service you provided. So we're going to go to our share. This is another gem. It's another gem. Where's the share right here? Here we go. This week, We're going to talk about the life of Laura Dolly Johnson. Matter of fact, they have some images up there. I'm going to pull up a couple. I don't think they mind about this. There we go. So she was born 1852 into slavery, and she died 1918 at the end of World War One. Why are we featuring her? Well, somewhere along the line, she learned how to cook, and she built a reputation. Why do we know that? Because in 1889, then President Benjamin Harrison hired her to be the head cook at the White House. The head cook at the White House. Wow. Now, he had grown tired of the French chef, and he asked him to leave. She arrived in 1889, Christmas time, which meant that she was on. It's on! She had to prepare the Christmas dinner. Here's what it consisted of: Blue Point oysters, turkey, and cranberry jelly. Notice I didn't say cranberry sauce, cranberry jelly. Maybe that's how they made it back in those days. Maryland turpin. Well, that's turtle, if you didn't know. I don't know if people still eat turtle, but I think it was a big deal in the South a long time ago. Plum pudding. Now, unfortunately, after 7 months, she had to leave. Her daughter was very ill, and she had to take care of her daughter. But she returned. She was hired by a different president, Grover Cleveland. Not in his first administration, but his second administration. So this is interesting because there are only two presidents who were president, defeated, and were reelected. Grover Cleveland was the first. Very interesting. I don't know what he was thinking about, though, because he fired her. But then he came to a senses and he tried to hire her back. But she said no. She was happy working for a retired Union general back in Kentucky. What a power play that was, huh? Woo! Refused the president anything. So she became the first Black woman to own a business on Lexington's Main Street, as in Lexington, Kentucky. Her restaurant was called, check this out, the White House Cafe. What a story. What a story. So we're going to, for those reasons, she's our most admired for this week. We're going to go back. And then we're going to go to something of consequence regarding Arundel County. We're going to talk about Third Eye Comics. Now, Third Eye Comics is a retail store that focuses on comics, but they do so much more. They buy and sell from different entertainment genre. I like to call them commercial imagination. That's the term I like to think about with them. Because whether it's DC Comics, Marvel, anime, they got it. They have two Annapolis locations. One's at 1816 Margaret Avenue. The other is 209 Chicopee Round. Look at this website, man. This is great stuff. You can just look at it. Godzilla versus Thor. Did you see that? This is a series. Oh, I already mentioned that. So whether it's Batman, Justice League, monsters, sci-fi, this is the place for it. They probably got some Star Trek stuff in there too. Look at this one. Godzilla versus Thor. I mean, growing up, I was never really much a comic book guy, but you went to the penny store, candy store, and that's where you got comics. Look at all that stuff they got in there, man. This is like junkies. These are guys who are like entertainment junkies. This is their thing. So anyway, I thought that was neat. We want to, we're going to stop the share. Actually, we're going to come back to the share in a minute because I want to go back to our series on these hidden gems. And there are many, and this is what makes life wonderful because all our lives are important, even for folks who do terrible things. It's what life is, an opportunity. So for our hidden gems, all Black women who came at times when times could not have been harder for Black women. I'm going to read a poem by the great Maya Angelou. It's called Still I Rise. And actually, before I read the poem, I'm going to bring her up real quick. So let's go to the share. Okay, let's go to the poem. Still I rise. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust I rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Because I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns, with certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head, lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it, don't you take it awfully hard, 'cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my backyard. You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still like air I rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huds of history's shame, I rise. Up from the past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into the daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. And that was a great, great Maya Angelou. She was born in 1928. She died in 2014. Great, great woman. Great passion. Great passion. With that, we're going to stop the share. And just say in closing that these are wonderful times here in Anne Arundel County, where we have about 3 different productions we're working on. Hopefully we hear something very, very soon on the edits to The Adventures of Auerbach. But we have something new. It's called The Birth of Weedoo. This is a script. This is another script that we have worked on. And I think it's going to be a very entertaining script. More on that to come and to follow. So for everyone here at the Glen Burnie Players, again, my name is Anthony Bynum. Until next time, bye-bye.